Sam and Steve another video, and I get a lot of people asking me when I do final prayers, last rites. They ask me, do the family members let them know they're doing okay? And the answer is yes. But how they do it, and it's really, and it is always very personal to the one person or to a family member, whatever it may be. It's a certain way of doing it, and I'm just going to give you some examples. One is actually my wife. Her father passed away some time back, and they were very close. And they are a family, all girls, all 5, and they're all sisters. But he passed away. And about 2 months later, she was telling me some time back that he came in her dream, and he's all dressed in white, just dressed in white, and he's glowing, and he's just looking at her and letting her know he's doing just fine. And he said, let her know I'm gonna, just kind of watch over you and see if you're doing okay, but I'm doing just fine. And that was the end of the dream. Second thing is there was another husband and wife, and the husband did pass away. And she was telling me the story when he passed away. They were together, I think, 39, 40 years. Well, they'd been together for quite a long time, and she really missed him when he passed away. I mean, obviously, when you're together that long, it's very hard. It's very hard for either spouse. It could be very difficult. But they had discussions, and they had discussions before he passed away. He was not a well man. They were talking about angels, and they were just talking about guardian angels. They had all kinds of discussions about it, and sure enough, he passed away. But a month and a half later, she goes to her car. It's on the street. She goes to her car to the driver's side, and what's on the ground? A feather. Number 1. She comes back another time in the kitchen, and she's doing dishes, and she looks down to the floor. There's a feather. She goes to somebody's house, and somewhere in one of the rooms she just happened to enter, there's a feather laying on the ground. Another time she's in the kitchen, and she finds another feather that's on the counter, and when she's doing the dishes, the feather's right there. In other words, what I'm telling you, they do let you know in their own way. There's another story where there were 3 women that got together. They had tea. Every once in a week they would meet, but all their husbands had passed away, so they would have tea together and just talk about the latest things between all of them. And one got very sick, and she did pass away. But during the time that they were having tea, she talked about she loved cardinals, just loved cardinals, the bird cardinal, red, just a beautiful color. So anyway, she did pass away, and the two women now they met, and I think about a week and a half, 2 weeks later, during it's kind of fall, and they look up on the tree there, and there's a cardinal up there, a red cardinal, and they kind of dismissed it. They didn't really pay attention too much. They noticed it, and they kind of looked at each other. And then the cardinal flew over to the other tree on the other side, and it looked like it was looking at them. And they were starting to become aware of that cardinal, and then sure enough, within about a minute and a half, 2 minutes later, the cardinal lands on the table that they're having their tea with. And then they begin to making the connection. And then added to that, then the cardinal, one of them goes through one of the shoulders there and stays there for almost 20 minutes. They knew who that was. I mean, you hear all kinds of stories, everybody. And I always tell families that, it's not the end. It's just really actually the beginning. It goes on. And when our loved ones pass away, we do see them again. And I tell all the family members, they're going home. We're all going to go. There may be a few that might not, and we've talked about that before, but all of us are going to be home at one time. And the beauty of all this is, for the person that passes away, everybody they ever known will be there to welcome them. I mean, it's saying what goes on. And the other thing is, it's hard, you hear any experiences, but the one common theme that you hear is God's unconditional love. And they try to describe it, you can't. We feel love here, but not to the extent that when you're within the presence of God, that unconditional love. It is so, I wouldn't want to use overwhelming, but it's so consuming. And it's like an experience like no other. But anyway, I wanted to share this with you. It's just, things go on, everybody. We keep moving on, and we you know, it doesn't end here at all. It continues, and we've had other discussions about all that. But our journey continues, and the person that you love, that you got very close to, the journey continues with them. But they do let you know, in their own way. They let you know. What sometimes it's just common between the two people. There's something that they, like I talk about the feathers and I talk about the cardinal. I mean, all kinds of stuff goes on. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead. As always, I hope your day is going. I'm going to go and close out. But I appreciate your time as always. I hope your day is going well. Until the next video. Thanks for watching the video. Thank you again.